So it is at this point we say, let's
Yeah,
roll some
boy.
dice in anger.
Bits.
I'm Dave, the Dungeon Master. The Flash Git that's found new technology. That's Josh, who's playing Micah. Lewis is in a tavern, who's playing Theron.
Hello there.
Hello there. Jake is bottom left playing Hal. Last but not least, Craig is in New Zealand playing Edda.
Hello.
And this is Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen, Campaign 2, Session 5. So, gentlemen, we left off last time with you just arriving in Vogler. So, let me force your screen to the town. Can anyone remember exactly where we left you?
Did we go to the tavern? And didn't we
Well,
bump
and we
into
just
Bagaris
talked
the
to that
Younger
person.
and Bagaris the Elder again?
Kinda. You'd just arrived. I'd given you a brief description of the town. So do you want me to do a description? Yeah, we don't need a description again. You'll remember it, I'm sure. But you'd just gone through the Fisher Gate here. You'd gone past the keep. You'd walked down the main avenue, and you'd seen this rather slightly larger, not much larger, but slightly larger, better appointed house. And you realised that there was a cart outside, similar to the cart that you saw on the road. The cart, in fact, that you managed to pilfer the gnome pornographic book from.
Yeah, it's coming back now.
Yeah.
It just needed the known pornography to be made.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, ding!
That checks out.
So
it's an old, sir.
You'd camp just outside. If again, hopefully I'm remembering this correctly, because it's been over a month since we last had a game in this. You arrived early doors. You can see the fishermen have already cast off. They've already set sail to the south. They're plying their trade on the river. There are people around, and all of them, to a man, nod in your direction, say good morning. It's one of those sort of type of friendly type places where everyone automatically says good morning to you. Not like a big city where everyone walks around ignoring you. But there's only a few people around as you've just arrived. What do you want to do?
I want to sabotage this cart.
Is have we still got Reese with us?
Yes, Reese is still with you.
Yeah. I'd probably just be like sitting back with Reese. If they're gonna go like messing with stuff, then I'll probably just sit back with Reese and just keep him company for a bit and watch them do what they'll do. That's up to them.
I think Hal's quite keen to try and seek out Becklin. He knows he was coming to find Becklin in the first place.
Okay.
I like the look of this cart.
Yeah.
Well, the cart, you've kind of noticed it. It's parked to the side of this large, austere-looking mansion-type house. The horses aren't attached to it, and there's no one around. The house itself seems like it hasn't woken up yet, if you know what I mean. So it looks like it's a Theron and Edda show.
Yeah, boy.
So I think Theron will kind of chuckle into himself and go, "Watch this," and he'll jump onto the back of this cart. He'll drop his keks and take the biggest shit on the back of this cart. with a nice grin on his face.
Okay. Okay.
And go,
Ah.
I'll teach him.
Yeah, I'm not so sure now that that's quite so interesting.
Okay. So what? How far I'll take this is, I think Micah and Hal would. I'm going to take it on that you're not going to be anywhere near this.
Nah,
No, we're far away.
I'd probably
Hal's not-
like. I
Yeah,
think as
I'm walking
As soon
away
as-
momentarily, questioning my life decisions.
yeah, I think as soon as like me and Reese would be sat from kind of afar, like watching them like mess with the cart, and then as soon as like, oh, there you go. As soon as Theron like drops his keks, like I'd be like, right, okay, let's go look at it. Just go find something else to look at with Reese.
You typical
Okay.
Voldemort laugh of.
Okay, so what you okay, so as Theron stops wandering over and drops his drawers down, the three of you moving away, you do see someone approaching Theron's position, and it appears to be an older woman, very lean. She's got sort of like a vest top on, what you'd describe as not much more than a bit more than undergarments. It looks like training, the sort of Dragonlance equivalent of training shorts and a training top as she's jogging around the town. So human, silverish grey hair, but very lean, very muscular. There's not an inch of fat on this woman, and you can see that she's not far away from running in front of this mansion, just to the side where Theron's about to bear down with his buttocks out. Do you wish to do anything?
Walk away even faster.
Okay.
We've been here all of 5 minutes, and he's going to get us in trouble already.
Yeah, and then get in a position to watch discreetly to see how this bears out.
Bears out. Nice.
Yeah.
Let me just add this to the thingamajigger. So, right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have a game of rollies here with you, depending on how you want to proceed. I'm going to have a perception check from this human woman running towards you, and it will be in direct conflict of your perception check to see who sees who first. Okay? And then we'll proceed from that point. So, you've only got to beat a 7 for perception.
19.
19. So you can hear this this jogging sound, this moving sound. You turn around to see your fellows with a big grin on your face, thinking, yeah, this is the funniest thing I've ever done, and you realise that you're being abandoned by your mates and someone is running towards you. What do you want to do?
So I'm assuming if I was to jump out the cart now, she'd see me. If it was blatantly, kind of.
Yeah, she's gonna see you at some point, but you have a sort of a second or two.
Okay. So I think, how far away is she?
What do you roll? 19. She's just literally round the corner, and she's jogging. So it's you've got 2 seconds.
Okay. I'm going to cast Mage Hand to pick up a stick and try and trip her up.
Okay. Right. So what we'll have is we'll have another Okay, I'm going to give her a saving throw versus your. Make it's like a spell attack. So basically, as if you're casting, you've.
It'll have to be a firebolt if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But it's going to be. She's going to try and jump over it. Right.
17.
Yeah. So this. Yeah, she trips up, but she's sort of tripping in your direction. So the rest of you guys now, you can see this woman. She's probably late 50s. Trip over and roll, but she does this sort of kind of like combat roll, like a Dempsey and Make. I was going to say Dempsey and Makepeace, but it's probably only me and Craig that remembers Dempsey and Makepeace. She does this. She does this sort of combat roll into a kneeling position, and she turns round. Fortunately for you, over her other shoulder to see what she's tripped over. So you do have a little bit more time, but she's right in front of you now.
Okay. Then that'll be more chance for me to try and pull my trousers up at this point. Would that give me enough time to do that?
Yeah.
I think
so that'll be that. Yeah. I've got a backup story if you just question me while there's a shit on this cart. But at least I have my trousers up. That's all that matters.
I think having seen her like trip, Mike could probably like run over and just be like, "Oh my god, like, are you okay?" Almost like trying to kind of like buy Lewis some more time, Theron some more time.
Okay.
And I'd just kind of run over and be like, "Oh, you know, are you okay? Is there anything I can do?"
Okay, nice. Let's just give me a deception check then, please, Micah.
Okay. Decepciones. That's a 17.
Okay. Right. So as Theron, you get your strides up and sorted, and Micah, as you're sorting yourself out, as you're approaching this woman, she'll look to you, and she'll say, "No, I'm fine. Thanks for your assistance." And then she looks a little bit. I don't know you. Forgive me. I am Becklin Uth Viharin, Knight of Solamnia. May I ask your name?
I'd almost like be like almost like how I reacted just then. I'd be kind of surprised. I'd be like, well, this is a strange coincidence. My name's Micah, and I think we're actually looking for you. Funnily enough, we've come for the funeral of Sir Ispin.
Micah, she'll say. She'll hold an arm out to you. Well met, Micah. No, and she'll look round to see where everyone else is. Are you all sort of stood there?
I'm going to jump and sit cross-legged on a wall, the nearest wall, and crack out the local equivalent of some popcorn.
I'd kind of, oi. I'd kind of turn and like usher kind of like Reese over as well and say like, "Come on, like come over here," and then say like, "I'll introduce her to Reese as well," and say, "Oh, this is Reese. He's been traveling with us the last couple of weeks as well."
Okay.
And as for the rest of my companions, they can speak for themselves.
I was gonna like gradually wander off because he'd have like kind of like watched Micah walk over to kind of help this lady, and then he'd kind of like gradually walked over as he seen Micah chatting. Would Hal have heard that it's Becklin, or would that have just been between kind of Micah and her? How loud was it, kind of?
If you've walked away, then we'll say no. You didn't hear that, no.
So Hal's gonna kind of like, he's just gonna kind of gradually walk up back to Micah and just be, I guess he'd ask Becklin, he'd be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. So what? Because if you didn't hear, as you've identified yourself, and she'll say, "Oh, well met," and it's a welcoming handshake, and she grins, she smiles, her whole face changes. She's not. She wasn't surly, but now
Yeah.
her eyes glint and her face lights up. And she'll say, "Oh, Micah, it's good to see you." And she spots Edda, sat on this wall, and she said, "And you must be Edda. Well met, Edda." And then she sees Jake coming towards, and she becomes a little bit more stiff as Hal approaches, and she will sort of now nod towards Hal, and she will say, "And I assume that you are Henry?"
I like to go by Hal, but yes.
Well, in which case you will go by Squire.
And Hal would drop to Hal would be like, and he probably would be like this. He'd almost like stumble over his words. He'd be like, "Forgive my my rudeness, but I did not hear you introduce yourself. Do you mind telling me who you are?"
Of course. And she does soften a little bit. "I am Becklin. It is. I am pleased to see you." And she will give you. This is something that we went over before, but I'm not sure we finalised on it. She will give you the salute of the Knights of Solamnia, but I'm happy for you to style that however you wish.
So I think it's almost like a firm hand over the chest with a hand raised up as well, kind of up in the air. And then Hal would kind of at that, Hal would drop to kind of one knee to kind of recognise her like seniority, and he'd be like, "Well met, Becklin, Sir Becklin. I've heard amazing stories about you."
Yeah. She'll say, "Right, Hal, it is good to see you. So there's just one missing," and she's looking around. I am at this point going to give her a perception check. Another perception check. I mean, she's rolled a 14.
Shit smell wafts under her nose.
She's rolled a 14. She's a breeze coming from from behind her, and she sort of say, "And the last one, oh, goodness me," and she turns around and sees Theron. So where are you stood now, Lewis?
So he's on the cart still, but he's like kind of ducked down with his kecks up, and he'll think, "Oh shit!" He'll jump up and go, "Ah!" He'll just like jump up and go, "Nearly got you, but it seems that my colleagues got me before you. How you doing?" I was going to try and make you jump.
Okay. She'll say as she sees you, her demeanour changes again. She's gone from very stiff and formal with Hal, but as she sees Theron again, she'll say, "Oh no, it's good to see you. Yes, Ispin did tell me about you. Normally it's the Kender we have to watch out for." Sort of winks at Edda, but no, in your case, Ispin told me that it's what's that? And she points to the steaming pile of shit in the cart that you're stood next to.
Loki. Have you met Loki? He took a shit in this cart. I was trying to clean it up when I was hiding from you, but I don't know where he is now.
Okay. Right. So
I'm
Loki's...
gonna chip in and be like, "Loki's shits aren't usually that big. It's very human-sized shit, wouldn't you say?"
Very human, but he does like his cheese, and you know what they say: you are what you eat.
Deception check
Speaking
with
of
disadvantage.
food, everybody. God.
Oh, she's rolled a natural 20 for her insight, just so you know.
Oh, fuck.
So everything about this woman now changes. She looked sort of stiff and official when she was talking to Hal. Now she looks angry, and she looks at Theron, and she has a moment, and you can see that the cogs are spinning, and she will say, "Clean it now."
And almost like a little schoolboy. Okay.
and she will say, "The keep, Thornwall Keep, 5 minutes." She turns back to Hal, and she'll say, "All of you."
I would will nod and he'll be like, "Yes, sir."
I tell you, it's when I play D&D with you, Lewis. You make me feel like a fucking teacher. Right, so so she doesn't salute. She doesn't say anything else. You would expect some kind of dismissal or something else from your training, Hal would, but she just turns around. Or she just carries on as if she's going to continue around the rest of the village on a jog. So she's going to do a circuit and then come back. So, are you cleaning it up? Is Theron cleaning it up?
Yeah, of course, she told me to.
Okay. Did you want to do anything else? I mean, she's run away, but she's running the opposite direction. Excuse me, running the opposite direction to Thornwall Keep. So, what do you want to do?
Hal would be very much like, we need to follow her orders. Like, we've been instructed to come and meet Becklin here. Hal's already under the instruction before kind of everything that's evolved with Ispin Greenshield to come and meet Becklin here. So he's very much like, we've got to do this. Like, she's asked us to meet there in 5 minutes. Like, orders are orders.
Yeah.
So, and I
But
think
there's
it'd be
a
very
whole
much
town to explore.
granted. But if we get this business sorted with Becklin first, we can explore later.
I
But
think
we can't
No,
miss about it.
Explore now. Go meet her later. It's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. I'm off.
Well, you go on your exploration, Edda, but I'll go into the keep.
I'll
And I'll
say
take
what-
Reese with me.
I get the feeling that there's a big steaming pile of poo that's going to stop me from being able to explore later, so I'm going to do it now.
I'd turn to kind of Hal and Edda and say, like, no, like, she's given us orders. We need to go and meet her. All of us need to meet her in 5 minutes' time. I think we should explore later. We owe it to Ispin.
Not
to
the
handle
guilt
this well.
card. Not the emotional
sorry.
blackmail. Not the
I didn't want
emotional
it.
blackmail. Okay, well,
I think Hal would turn to Edda and he'd be like,
Oh.
she's one of the most senior knights in the Knights of Solamnia. We can't disobey her orders.
And Theron will laugh and go,
Yeah, but
She
I'm
definitely looks
I'm
senior
not
as well,
exactly. I'm not exactly a knight of Solamnia, and I've been there and got the T-shirt of how I escaped. Yeah. Emotional blackmail, though. Come on, Micah.
It's not. I mean no harm by it. But we're all here for a purpose, and it's been obviously meant a lot to all of us. And I think it's the right thing to do is to follow orders. It won't take long, I'm sure. Then we can explore after.
Okay.
I'd like
Theron
to
will be like,
think.
bloody goody two shoes.
I'm gonna have a bit of a pout as we're walking up towards her.
Yeah, I'd like to think it was kind of a dragged by the back of your collar type thing. But perhaps you've got Micah on one side and Hal on the other side as your little legs. Whoa, I don't want to do.
Come on, we can.
But you head straight to Thornwall Keep now. In fact, I can give you the description of Thornwall Keep.
Yeehaw.
So, veins of bronze-coloured ivy cling to Thornwall Keep's ancient 3-storey stone tower, the tallest structure in Vogler. I'm going to take my glasses off. From its crenellated roof rises an elaborate device resembling a catapult. Crumbling ruins of wall and other fallen structures surround the keep, and amid them lie several shallow square pits and covered excavation sites. In one of the excavation sites, you can see a younger chap similar age to you, you would guess. Perhaps a couple of years your junior. Oh, on your screen you should have Becklin, by the way. That's her in her Solamnic armour. This second... Make this visible to you. This second character, much younger, is currently dressed similar to this, a lot muddier, a lot dirtier. It's a dry day, so it's not mud, it's just dirt. And he seems to be, with a little brush, almost like an archaeologist would be, and he's sort of wiping away this or excavating this wall just outside Thornwall Keep. And as you approach, he looks up with his sort of shaggy black hair, and his face lights up straight away, same as everyone else that you've met in Vogler. And he'll say, "Oh, how do? I'm Darrett. Becklin's away. I'm not sure if you want to wait for her. Come on in."
How long has it been? Has it been like the 5 minutes? Like, has it taken us 5 minutes to get there already? Or?
5 minutes to get there, yeah.
I guess I just heard say like, oh, we're supposed to be meeting her like right about now. She's still away.
Yeah, no, she's not. She's not back yet. She's on a morning jog. She started out. Well, she only started out 5 minutes ago. She'll perhaps be another half an hour or so. Normally, perhaps it depends how long she goes for a jog. It might be up to an hour. But you're welcome to wait with me. It's nice to have an excuse to not do this, to be honest with you.
And thus begins the first stage of the punishment. Stand around like a bunch of lemons.
I'd turn around to Edda and say, feel free to go explore, but stay close within earshot. And then I guess I'd stand and chat to this guy.
So he sort of looks you over now that you've, and obviously if he's addressed Micah first, he'll look you all over and he'll say, "Oh, wait a minute. Never. You're early. Are you early? Is it Micah, Theron, Hal, and Edda?"
Yeah, that's us in the flesh.
Well, I've heard about you from Ispin, and Becklin's been looking forward to welcoming you. Yeah, sorry, I can't believe she's not here. I'm so sorry she's not here. Well, I'm Becklin's Squire. Well, and she looks at Hal and she'll say, "One of Becklin's Squires. I believe you ought to be my superior, Hal." And he'll do the salute with a massive grin on his face, and he'll say, I can't wait to train and learn from you as well. It's so nice to meet you all."
Well, we are both squires, and then he'd almost like check himself, because like obviously he's not really said anything to the group about it yet. The fact that he's still a squire, so he's kind of be like, yeah. We'll get lots of training in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Theron
we will.
kind of walk up behind him as well and put his hand on his back and go, "Nice to meet you too, mate."
And
with his hand covered in shit.
Right.
Why?
Play the character.
Okay. He doesn't notice. He doesn't notice this at all. He thinks you're being sort of genuine and welcoming him. And he turns to say, "Oh, no, really, we've been waiting for you to come. We were expecting you just before Ispin's funeral. This is so good. We've got 5 days. We can get to know you, and we can exchange stories. I know." And then the day after that, we've got the Kingfisher Festival, and then it's going to be the recreation. Hopefully, you'll all get involved with that. It should be fun. Be a lot of fun. It normally is.
This recreation.
It's the recreation of the battle at High Hill. If you've heard of it.
Forgive me, I've not studied the Battle of High Hill.
It's an ancient thing. It's all to do with the origins of the town. It's Istarian forces versus the Knights of Solamnia, and it was the Knight Vogler that defended the town, and just north on High Hill is where the battle took place. And we commemorate it every year. This year's particularly special because Becklin and Ispin's friend. Did they tell you about Cudgel? She would have.
I've heard the name of Cudgel.
Yeah, well, she bought her. She's the leader of a military company now, and she's brought her mercenaries to play the Istarian forces. We're going to be the Knights of Solamnia, so we're defending the town, and it's normally a lot of fun. And then everyone gets very drunk afterwards. So we've got 2 nights. This Ispin's funeral, which is obviously very sad, but then it's Ispin's wake. And then the day after that, we get legless again after we've had this recreation. It's gonna be a fun festival.
Yeah,
Sounds interesting.
Sounds great. I think we've had a fairly long journey over here, so I think we could all do with some time off.
Yeah. Well, because we've got half an hour. Come inside. I'll find you something to eat and drink. And now he sort of sniffs, and he sort of seems to notice the smell of shite.
I'd kind of try and distract him and be like, yeah, no, that sounds great. We're all really hungry. Like, please, yeah, lead the way.
Yeah, so he'll show you inside. I mean, it's clean, it's tidy. Go
on. As he like turns, I'd then be like, oh, I think you've got something on like the back of your and then like kind of like gesture to it and say like, yeah, you might want to clean that. But like,
just see Theron in the background going.
Like, I'm trying to bring his attention to it before he like puts his hand in it or anything like that. Like, my intentions are good. I'm just saying like, oh yeah, by the way, there's like something there. Like,
well, it's because it's in the centre of his back. He's not going to put his hand in it. But as you point it out to him, he'll say, right, and he'll sort of settle you in to the sort of kitchen area. He'll sit you down. He'll get you something to eat, something to drink. He'll say, "Oh, I'll be right back," and he'll go to change his tunic. But he's not gone.
And then
go on, mate. Go on.
Yeah, and then I'll turn to Theron and kind of just like give him a nudge and be like, "Go wash your hands."
Theron goes, "I don't need to. Prestidigitation. Hands real clean."
And you could have done that before you wiped your hands on that poor guy's back.
Yes, I could have.
You shouldn't disrespect.
So we're inside. We're inside this building, and the Squire's nicked off. Let's have a look around. Anything interesting?
So, where you are in this kitchen, it's well maintained, very clean, but it's very minimalistic. But there are doors adjacent to it. I mean, Ispin. Darrett went away and went sort of upstairs. But the room he went through is a corridor with stairs leading up, but there's other doors off it. If you wish to have a sneak around,
I'm not going to sneak.
Yeah, just wonder. So most of the ground floor, there's the kitchen, there's the privy out the back. There's a larder, a storage room. All sort of boringish, mundane stuff. But then there's a storage room on the side which seems to have a lot of sort of digging gear or archaeological equipment, things like that. And then stairs going up.
Okay. The archaeological equipment looks interesting.
Okay.
I've seen that sort of stuff before.
So if you wished to, because the rest of you have seen Edda start to sort of wander off in the way that he does, sort of, I like to think you're whistling a tune quite brazenly, wandering around, as the rest of them are stood there. If you want to sort of help yourself to like a little brush, perhaps a small chisel,
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
Don't go mad,
Yeah,
but fill
yeah.
your pockets with
Yeah.
various bits and pieces.
Cool. Yeah, sweet.
So, were you saying something, Jake?
It's like Edda, don't steal. Like we've been welcomed into this place.
Don't steal.
Well,
I'm not a common
take your little
criminal.
light fingers away.
There's how many times do I have to tell you? This stuff's been left lying around. It's not being looked after. Somebody's got to keep an eye on it in case it gets stolen. People like
Well, just
you.
keep an eye on it, out of your pockets.
Well, it's not very safe. How can I can't just stand in one place. There's a lot of stuff to look after in there. And Darrett's gone. Who's going to do it? I better,
But he's trusted you to look after it, not in your
Exactly.
pocket. What about when he comes looking for it later? What about when he needs it?
Well, I can give it back to him then, because
Yeah, but what about if we've gone somewhere else?
Well, I'll have to put it on you guys to remind me.
Edda, we can't spend our whole lives reminding you of things that you've put in your pockets.
Well, I'll do my best to remember, but it would be.
Put it back down.
Okay.
Nice.
Of course, as soon as he turns his back, I'm putting it in my pocket.
Well, let's have perception versus sleight of hand to see if you manage to get anything, and then you can add it to your character sheet. Rollies. Oh, no.
11.
Yeah, unlucky. Hal got 15.
Oh.
Yeah, so he spots you. I mean, you are a Kender, and you will be persistent. So you can pick one item, a smallish item that an archaeologist would possibly have.
Okay.
So it doesn't take.
And of course,
long.
you know that I let Hal see me do that.
Of course. So it doesn't take Darrett long to return, and he's full of questions, and he's firing questions left, right, and centre to all of you, but mostly towards Hal. He will give you a brief of his history. Darrett was an orphan that Becklin took in. She's basically raised him. Kind of, he would sort of say, sort of like a son. She's a good, she is a good time. She has looked after me, and I'm hoping one day to be a Knight of Solamnia, and she's going to sponsor me to go to San Christian and follow in your footsteps, Hal. And but obviously she's the only knight here, and she's the protector, and she's quite protective of me. But she does the best that she can. And he'll go on to tell you a little bit more about the archaeological bits as well. He'll tell you that it's Becklin's interest. She's very interested in the history of the area, knowing that well before the Cataclysm, this battle took place at High Hill, and the original fortifications were on the grounds of Thornwall Keep. So Thornwall Keep is built sort of on the secondary ground of where the actual original keep was. So there's lots to excavate and look through, and Becklin's quite passionate about that. Would you have? It's giving me a thumbs up from you, Josh. I think it's just picking up on you.
It's just my arm, yeah.
I want one. I so want one of those things. It's just brilliant. But it's the conversation carries on. Did you want to ask Darrett anything? Did you want to talk to him about anything?
Not kind of so much, but when he's kind of going on about San Cristales, I'd say like Hal would probably be like, maybe you're better here training with Becklin. She's a knight of well renowned, and her battle prowess is well known. There's stuff that can be learned at San Chris, but I feel like you'll learn so much more in the field here.
Yeah, okay. He'll sort of take this on board, and he'll say, "Oh, yeah, Becklin has told me what it's like these days, but I mean, it's yeah, I know because she said the same to me, and I couldn't quite understand why, but I think I know what you're saying. But he does come across as a very affable, likable young man, a little bit naive. You can tell that he spent, I suppose, in some ways, he's a little bit like Micah. The only difference is that you've travelled here, whereas he stayed here all of his life. So he's not, he hasn't travelled that far. But you have something to eat and something to drink with him, and it's a good hour until Becklin actually arrives, and you can hear her before you can see her as she jogs up to the door. And she's by now, you can tell that she's been for a good run. She's red-faced. She's not breathing particularly hard, just a thin layer of sweat, but you can tell she's been for a good run. And she walks straight through the front door into the kitchen area where you are, and she'll look at Darrett, and she'll say, armor, 10 minutes, my room, you 4. Stay there. And she walks past and walks upstairs. What do you want to do?
I just kind of I think I'd kind of mutter under my breath and be like, 10 minutes. How long is that really going to be?
I was going to turn around and look at Micah, and he's going to say, if a knight asks you to don her armour in 10 minutes, the armour's donned in 9.
Well, she told us to be here in 5, and she's been an hour.
She told us to be here in 5.
Yeah, I'm going to follow her and start asking questions like, all right, what's it like being in charge? How do you get your armour on so quickly then, if it's going to be 10 minutes? You said 5 minutes when when you asked us to get here, and it's been half an hour. What are you digging up in the...
Okay, what are you? Is this and is this sort of just Kender curiosity?
Yeah.
Okay. So So what I'm going to ask for then, Craig, is just a charisma check from you, just to see how she's going to respond to your Kenderness.
30-20.
Okay, so as the rest of you, and again, I'd like to think of this as Hal is like you're distracted talking to Micah as you suddenly realise that Edda's gone, but you're too late. You try and reach for him, but he's gone. He's up the stairs, and he's already started talking to Becklin, so you know it's too late. And when you're out of when Edda gets out of earshot of everyone else, Becklin's quite engaging with you. In fact, if anything, she's quite charming, and she answers all of your questions. And she's quite happy to have a bath and a shower and get sorted. So she'll say, "Yeah, sorry about that. I needed to run it off." I'm not going to say too much, but she's quite nice, and she's very pleasant. And she points out to you various bits of interest. She'll point out a box that's under her bed. You're in her bed chamber where she's having this bath, and she'll say, "That's your that's what it's been left for you. Do me a favour, leave that alone. It will be yours. I'll present it to you in a few days. This is my," and she'll point out all of the stuff that's important to her, and then she'll point out all of the stuff that is not necessarily important to you, and you get the idea. And it gets to the point where she'll say, "This ring, for example, this I found buried. It means nothing to me, but I'll leave it there. Perhaps it needs guarding by someone better than I, who's more vigilant." And she'll turn away, and and she'll tell you that she likes to everything that Darrett's already told you about the whole archaeological dig. But she'll also ask you lots of questions about your time with Ispin as well, because you spent a lot of time individually with Ispin, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you going to respond in kind and?
Oh yeah, I mean, if I get, she's engaging, and Kender are engaging as well when there's, so it's like, way, I guess a rapport, a relationship is like, just talking and sharing information and just chatting casually.
Okay, cool. So Darrett comes in at some point, and he's sort of, he averts his gaze. You can tell that she stood there stark bollock, but she doesn't care. But Darrett does. He's very much averts his gaze. And she'll turn to Darrett, and she'll say, so Squire, have they behaved? And again, she's gone very stiff and authoritative in front of Darrett, and he'll say, yeah, no, they're good lads. No, some of the stories are brilliant. Yeah, it's nice to have company. And she'll say, oh, okay, Squire, that'll do. So she gets dressed. Darrett's still there, like looking in the corner, and she'll say to you and Darrett, she'll say, right. And she'll look at Edda and she'll say, Edda, do me a favour. I'm gonna have to tell them off. So if they say anything to you, tell them that I'm still cross with you and I'm still angry. Don't tell them that we've had this nice chat. Right. Okay. And then she'll come downstairs. So it's Becklin first in her full knight attire. She hasn't got a helmet on, but she's got a plate on and all of her armour. And behind her, Darrett's coming. He arrives. He's now looking confused. He's no idea what's going on. And Edda's skipping along quite happy, if that's all right, Craig.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so now
with a nice new shiny ring.
Yeah, you got it. We'll say it's worth about 25 gold, mate, if you want to add that. As she gets downstairs, she looks at Hal, and she looks like a disappointed parent, and then she looks towards Theron, and you can tell that she's just livid. And she will say, "You, boy, explain yourself."
So Theron's probably rocking on a chair at that point, and as she comes down to that sternly, it almost kind of goes into schoolboy mode, falls back, stumbles. I don't know. Neil just look at the floor, kind of like disappointed, and like a little 3-year-old with his shoulders shook down like that.
She'll say, "What on earth did they do to deserve that?"
Well, I can't remember the name of the prick. I mean, the lord that was with the other lord. But he wasn't very nice, and he nearly ran us over, and he really pissed off the cat. And then I tried to do something to the horses, and that didn't work. And then we nearly got into a scrap, and then they rode off. And then I saw the cart, and I thought, I'd take a shit. And I saw you, and then I tripped you up with a stick. And then he'll go, and then I saw you trip over with a stick. Sorry.
Okay. So, okay, and she's you can still tell, even though you just made me laugh, you can still tell that she's seething with this. And she will look towards Hal again and look over Micah. And she'll shake her head. And she'll say, "That is the house of Lord Baccaris. They've only recently arrived in town. Apparently their house in the country was burned and set upon by brigands. They only just managed to escape with the property that they have. They have coin with them."
Did you know they were into gnome porn?
Why would you say that? Why would you say that right now? I'll say that, and then I'll kind of like turn back to Becklin and be like, because I'm almost like worried about her like disapproving of us. So I'm like trying to make a good impression, and as soon as that, I'm like, why? Oh, my frog's going. Why would you say that? And then I'll turn to her and say, like, please, yeah, we had some problems with them on the roads. They were pretty horrible to all of us.
They were disgusting.
rest assured,
That's what they were. I'm sorry
they-
to
they-
speak of a.
and I'll just say I've spoken to Theron. Please, this isn't a regular occurrence. It won't happen again. We're sorry.
Okay. She turns back to Theron, and she. I'm just going to paraphrase now. I'm going to step out of roleplay mode. She basically lectures you. Two wrongs don't make a right. I'm not angry. In fact, no, I'm angry and disappointed. Is the moral of the story. And there's lots of expect better from Becklin. But she doesn't mellow through all of this, but she kind of goes from angry to very businesslike, but still authoritative. And it gets to the point where she has a pause and she says, "This, I don't know, genuinely don't know how to respond to this. I'm going to have to give it some thought. It's an affront to do what you did. And you must make some kind of recompense. But also, Lord Baccharis is new in town, and his son, Baccharis the Younger. I would rather them not know this unfortunate event happened at all. So for now, we will keep it to ourselves." She looks over at all of you. Wink. As she turns around, you can see, because Edda, you're still behind her, and she winks at you. But I am going to punish you for this, Theron. But I will work out what the punishment will be over the coming days. Pal, this is not the start that I expected from you.
I reckon that privy
may I
needs a bit of a clean out.
May I speak, Sir Becklin? I appreciate this isn't the start you expected. However, our first encounter, like Micah alluded to, was not pleasant. With I did not foresee Theron taking the action that he did. However, I walked past the cart and carried on to come and seek the keep and yourself. I think you must be wary of Baccharis and his son. Lord Baccharis and his son. They treat the small folk with disregard and ill will, and that was the experience we had with them on the road. And unfortunately, it did result in some conflict. But we only defended ourselves as just and as honourably as we could.
Nice. Let's have a persuasion roll on that.
18.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So
Hey.
you can see she sort of you could see that the creases on her face do soften a little bit. And she's gone from a more authoritative tone to a more motherly tone now, and she'll say, "Well, you do know how it works. You've been to San Crist. You know nobility isn't as you would expect. Not all nobility is noble, but those of us that follow the path, that live by the code and the measure, we must rise above, and I will expect more of you in the future. But I think we should all put this behind us now, except for this punishment."
Does Theron kind of pull the gnome porn out then and go, "Do you think he'll want this back?"
Brilliant. See, okay, I'll tell you what then. Roll, you can have a charisma check for me as well then, dude. What? Because so if please yourself. Persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, bother.
Okay. If you get 10 or more, she'll find the funny. No. Okay.
I've got two.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, no, she doesn't find it funny. I'm afraid, because that would have been ace, mate. But no, she all she'll say is the less said about that, the better. I'm demoed. But what you can see is behind her, Darrett is trying to stop himself. He does that sort of snort where he's trying to stop himself from laughing. Becklin clearly hears, but it looks as if she's choosing to ignore the fact that Darrett's about to wet himself laughing. And she will say, so I know the road is long and you've travelled far. I suggest you acclimatise yourself to the rest of the village. If I do hear or see anything like this, there will be punishment. And I have the rule of law from the mayor. It will be corporal punishment.
There shall be no further instance of such, Becklin, I assure you.
Okay, so she'll say, so you have accommodation ready for you at the Brass Crab. Yalmi there, the lady that owns it, will be more than happy to feed you and make sure that you're rested. The village itself is a lovely place, where everyone's setting up for the Kingfisher Festival, which is in 6 days' time. You know, Ispin's funeral is still 5 days away. Hal, I shall expect you sunrise every morning for some PT. Any of you that wish to join us, please feel free to do so. And later in the afternoon, she would basically set a schedule for you to fence off with Darrett. You'll have drills, but anyone who wants to join in with the physical nature of what Hal's intended to do. But she will say, in terms of your other duties, I think it's probably best to wait until after Ispin's funeral before we finalise what is expected of you, Hal. But for the now, enjoy the village. The rest of the day is yours, Hal. I shall see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Darrett, do you want to go with them, show them around? And Darrett's like really keen. He's like, hey. She has something to eat and drink and then nicks off, unless you want to ask her any questions.
I think Hal would just say, whilst we've been on our journey here, we've come across a young man by the name of Reese. Is there any way that we can look at getting? Could Reese stay within the keep? I'm sure he will be able to serve well. He's lost his family, and he just needs somewhere safe to live.
Okay, let's have another persuasion then, just to see if she takes Reese in.
Oh, 14.
14? So yeah, 14's fine. So you introduce her to Reese. Reese does the whole thing. Initially, he sort of, because he's attached himself to Micah a fair amount, and he'll sort of say, oh no, can I stay with you? But then Becklin steps in and she'll say, no, I understand these times are hard, and no, there will be place for you here, and genuinely, you feel as if he's going to be looked after and cared for. But he will say to, oh, sorry, go on, Jake.
How would whilst he's kind of pleading with Becklin, he say, if I'm not over speaking, maybe he could come to the yard tomorrow, and maybe we could do some sparring with him as well as Darrett. We could maybe put a sword in his hand.
I'd probably jump in and say I was going to suggest the same thing. I'll come along too if you'd like that, Reese.
Yeah. He sort of looks at you for confirmation or affirmation, I suppose. And Becklin does this whole thing where she'll say, "Shows your muscles, boy," and he sensitively gets his guns out, and she'll say, "Yeah, no, good. Needs a bit of work, but you look like a strong boy." And yeah, it's all very nice, very friendly, and you can tell that. I mean, Darrett is just a delight to have around, and she's raised him, so you're pretty secure. But Reese will say just as a parting to Micah, he'll say, "Oh, I'd also like to know a little bit more about the gods as well, if that's okay." So both Darrett and Becklin will hear that, and you can see that it doesn't faze them. You've had. In the village that you've grown up in, or the wider world that the other three have been in, the gods, it's almost, you mention a god's name that spit on the floor, but it's not phased Becklin, it's not phased Darrett. They're quite comfortable with the gods being mentioned, and the fact that that Reese wants educating, if you're happy to also teach him what you know about the gods.
Yeah, I'd turn to him and say, what I said to you the night, the kind of you started to travel with us. I meant it. If you want to learn, I'm happy to teach you everything I know, whether you're staying here or not. I'm sure we'll be back. And so, yeah, look after yourself in the meantime. But whenever I'm around, come and talk to me anytime. It's okay, and I'll tell you everything that I've learned.
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna have one of those sort of film time moments where he wells up a little bit and sort of rushes around and sort of hugs you around the middle, and then he has a big boy breath, and then he walks off with Becklin, and she's got a hand on his shoulder, and she goes to settle him in somewhere.
Yeah.
So
I'll kind of just say to him, like, I'll hug him back and just say, like, I'll see you in the morning. It's okay. Like, don't worry.
Nice. So you've got the rest of the town to explore. You've got 5 days to do it. You've got to settle into the Brass Crab. We can go at whatever pace you want here, then, chaps. We can go through the whole village, or we can just fast forward to Ispin's funeral. What do you want to do?
Are there any, I don't know, highlights of the village?
Edda wants to do some exploring.
Oh, yeah, but I don't need to explore explore every nook and cranny, but for gaming purposes, what are the highlights?
There's plenty of highlights, really. So this is mostly a fishing. I mean, large village, small town. So we'll say, I'll probably refer to it as both, because I'm like,
yeah.
But there is enough in here to do. So there's the Brass Crab, which is where you're going to have rooms. Yalmi, we'll take you there next. Yalmi is she's a human female, advanced age again. She's sort of similar age to Becklin, but she's very portly. I like to, again, it's probably only me and you that gets this reference, Craig, but you remember Bernard Matthews when he used to do the dressed up as a woman, and it was adjusting his, so that's her. But she's a my ducky, it's good to meet you type, but she shows you to the rooms. There's not a great deal there, but it's nice, it's warm. There's the fish bowl, which is more of, it's like the pub. But it's more, it's sort of a bakery / pub. So they do these fish pie or fish pasties, which are particularly good, with watered down ale, watered down beer. There's not a lot of sort of binge drinking happens in in this quiet little town. High Hill is to the north. That's where the recreation is. There is a market. So the notable stall in the market, there's it's mostly fishing supplies, a few crafts, things for hunting, things for farming, mundane equipment. The notable shop, there is a Kender, by the name of Frostwin, who sells fish bone puppets. But I'll tell you what. The other person that we will introduce you to is the mayor. So the mayor's home is just off the village circle. Let me give you the map again.
Are
give you
they,
the overview?
Are the fishbone puppets? Are they like fish, or are they like formed into other figures?
Micah, I'll get you one later.
There's Vogler for you. So the fishbone puppets, they're in the shape of animals and sea serpents and things like that. They look like if a child was to buy them, they could possibly save up their pocket money and buy one a month, and then after a year they'd be able to recreate a Punch and Judy type show or something like that. So a range of characters and monsters.
How much are they?
Let's say 10 copper. 10 copper for a particularly big one. 5 copper for sort of like a standard person.
Is there one of like a dragon?
Let's find out with a dice roll. If you roll a d20, 10 or more, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sweet. Let's go. 18.
18, yes, there is. Yeah, and it's one of the bigger pieces, so it would be 10 copper.
Yeah. I would like to purchase that one.
Okay, sure.
If that's okay. Yeah. I'll buy that one if that's okay.
Yeah, okay. She will say she can do work to order as well if you so if you want anything particularly making, she'll.
I'll just say for now, this one's perfect. Thank you. And I'm give it the 10 copper.
So the other thing I'd everyone that you meet. So there's this the Kender on the stall. I tell you what, just roll a perception for me then, Jake.
For me.
Oh, sorry, for Josh. It's the first time I've done that. I'm gonna keep doing that now. It's a Tom and Sam situation all over again. But you're. Yeah, you see that this Kender, and you're used to this from Edda. You can see that she's tried to lift something from you, but it's almost in a sort of very innocentish, Kenderish type of way. But as you catch her, so perhaps she's trying to lift your money pouch or something like that, but your hand goes out, and she'll say, "Oh, you almost dropped it. There you go. I stopped it from falling on the floor." And she just goes about her business type thing. Okay.
What from the other Kender, not or
the other Kender? Yeah, the one that you've just bought the thing from.
I'll just kind of like narrow my eyes and just be like, "Thank you," and then like take it back.
Yeah. This goes about her business.
I'm just gonna interject. That was a good thing you did there. Well done, thank you.
Oh, we have to look after these big folk. You know what they're like, always losing stuff.
I know, they're shockers. Leave stuff lying around. It just, if it wasn't for us, they'd lose everything.
It's so nice, and she'll come up and hug you.
Meanwhile, we're both trying to lift something from each other.
Let's go at it. So, so it's going to be you roll perception first. I'll roll sleight of hand.
Sorry, perception.
Yeah.
Oh dear me! I think she's got me.
Beats it. No, because actually no, because I didn't roll add a modifier. Yeah. So okay. Now, if you want to roll sleight of hand, and I'll roll her perception. Sleight of hand 24. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to say is the three of you, Micah, Theron, and Hal, find this incredibly. This is the most entertaining 10 seconds of your life as you see these two Kender embrace, and the amount of items that are swapped between the two of them, that none of them is aware that the other one's doing it. They're totally oblivious. But what ends up happening is, as one takes something, the other one lifts it back. And it happens for about like five exchanges as these items are just going backwards and forwards. So unfortunately, Craig, you've not ended up with anything other than the stuff that she nicked from you.
Yeah. I quite like that idea.
So the last person of note that I want to introduce at this point is the mayor. So let's get players. So as you're acclimatizing to the town, walking through the town, you can see this this black lady, braided hair. As you can see, she isn't holding the fish, but she's talking to everyone that she sees, and the only thing that stands out is this brooch that she's got, which the brooch, oh, motherfucker. the brooch just by itself would be something that you recognise as a badge of office, but she does look very young. I mean, she's sort of perhaps early 30s at most, but she's very engaging and she talks to everyone. There's lots of laughs and pats on the back, but as she spots you, she will walk over to you and introduce herself as the mayor, who is on the right page because my homework is failing me, is Mayor Raven Vogler. And she will introduce. I'm call me Vogler, but I'm the mayor, Mayor Raven, or call me Raven. She's sort of downplaying the role, and she will say, "Oh, you must be Ispin's friends to attend his funeral."
Yep, that's us.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good that you're here. It's good that you've arrived in plenty of time. It would have been a disappointment to I know Beckling would have been disappointed if you couldn't make it for the funeral. And I'll not go into too much role play with this. And she'll just make sure that you're happy, you've established yourself, and she'll say, if you need anything, come and find me. Blah blah blah, and then we'll skip that bit because I've. So, are you going to honour your appointment so far? So first thing in the morning, you're going to go back to your PE training and all that kind of business? Oh,
I think you might be muted, Jake.
I think it was. Sorry, I thought I'd clicked it back up. How would be like? How would definitely do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go as well.
Okay. Anyone else?
Run along, Hal. Be a good boy.
It's not about being a good boy.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
It's about answering to my superiors and doing appropriately.
Yeah, being a good boy.
I was just going to shake his head and wander off from Edda.
Oh, you drop this, and I'll give him one of his coins.
You can keep it. It might keep you out of trouble.
I don't get into trouble. You dropped it.
You weren't saying that when you were in the jails at Sandcrest.
I wasn't in there for long.
No, you weren't, but you ended up in there in the first place. For goodness sake.
But I needed to see what they look like.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got a lay of the land, but stay out of trouble while you're here. So, is it the morning now, or are we still kind of like?
We'll move on to the next morning, shall we? If that's all right. Well, if as long as you want, if that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think we'd go back to the brass crab, probably have some dinner, maybe stay up, have a couple of drinks, but nothing like too leery.
Yeah.
So Becklin's
He's got
still
to be a
with
good
you.
boy in the morning.
Yeah. Sorry, Darrett's still with you all day, and he'll show you around, and Raven will make another appearance and make sure everything's all right. But everyone is so nice, so pleasant, so welcoming to all of you. Okay.
Yeah.
So
does it seem?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, does it seem like it's just is it because we're us that they're being so welcoming, or just generally they're being welcoming? Would they be like that with everybody, every new visitor, or does it feel like it's kind of because they know who we are?
Well, roll insight. I
Mhm.
was just wondering if I can just sort of give you that information for free, but I'll make it a roll. That's what we're here for. Roll dice. No, this is Vogler. This is what this place is.
Mhm.
It's and also not only that, Ispin's told you about this place. It's it's that speck of gold in the pile of shite that is the world post cataclysm.
Yeah.
It's the only place he's ever found that's like this in the whole world. And as far as you're aware, he's travelled the whole continent of Ansalon. And sort of Edda's been most places with him. And, Edda, yourself, as naive as you may be, you've never been anywhere like this where people are quite, you've been caught lifting stuff, but people just laugh it off. And if they want it back, they're sort of quite apologetic, and they're sort of saying, yeah, I know you're looking after it, but I really need that back. But other stuff, you're lifting it, and they don't care. They're just nice people.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. So, happy for the next day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Which is a shame because I really haven't had a chance to think of what Theron's punishment's going to be. Here's a question for you then, Lewis, because it's your narrative, so I'm quite happy for you to think of something that, as you present yourself first thing in the morning, you can see Darrett's bleary-eyed. Becklin looks as if she's as fresh as a daisy, ready to put herself through the paces.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's an interesting one for you. Is Theron a physical being, or is he more book learning and book? Oh no, actually, you're a blade dancer, aren't you?
I'm blade dancer, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No. So, what would be an appropriate punishment, do you think, for Theron that Becklin could?
Probably something associating with shit. So I'd probably say like mucking out the stables or the pigsties or something. Just something like that. So, you kind of like shit so much, you can spend all day working with it.
Cleaning out
Okay.
the days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what because I think the other thing I'm trying not to make us. I think the other thing that she would insist is that you don't use your arcane arts. That's how she would probably describe it as well. I'm tempted to say she would stand above you with a switch in your hands, and as soon as you start to sort of, wiggle your fingers, this switch slaps you on the back of the hand. But that sounds a little bit too harsh.
Yeah. I'm happy. I mean, Theron will accept it. He's scared of her, so he'll get a broom or a shovel, and he will do as he's bloody well told.
Oh, okay.
He's been
Cool.
spawned by a mother figure.
It's a bit mechanic-y and stuff like that, but I wonder maybe why not like introduce a fatigue level or something at the end of the day.
A level of exhaustion.
Yeah, just she's worked him hard.
Okay, Well, because I'd like to think that she insists that you go for the physical training as well. So for those of you, and it's a rigorous physical training. So for those of you competing, let's have a Constitution saving throw. And because she's putting you through your paces on day one, I'm going to say your DC is 15. Otherwise, you finish the day on exhaustion at level 1.
Okay.
Oh, no, you've overcommitted. I suppose you're trying to show that you can do it. You do it, but at one point you do vomit.
Is it a con save? Sorry.
Yes, please. Yeah.
She's making me do it as well. I suppose Theron will be doing it anyway.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense for you to do it, mate. So Micah, you manage it. Oh, there's
there's punishment, isn't it?
I mean, Theron now. I mean, it's punishment itself. You're absolutely exhausted, and all of you see now that Theron's looking really pale. He's looking properly ropey after this run. I mean, if Hal's had a cheeky vomit into a bush, Theron's just breathing through his ring piece.
It's rusty ring piece.
Yeah, and not only that, you've still been made to muck out the pigs and and all the rest of it. It's a really bad day. At the end of this first day. In fact, you're working all day. Yeah. So, go on, Josh. You look like you want to say something.
I think I'd almost be quite surprised that I've because I'm not a particularly active person. I don't come from a particularly active background. So I think I'd almost be more of a bookworm than anything else. So I think I'd almost be quite surprised that I've made it through, relatively okay, tired still, but yeah, not managed it,
Okay. Okay. So. So where do we want to take it now then? Did you want to do much else involved? Go on, Jake.
Is this? No, is this the full day, or is this just the morning session? Because you said we were coming to meet up for the training session in the morning, and then we were going to meet back in the afternoon to do sparring and stuff.
Yeah, well, I was sort of taking the role for the whole day for all of the physical activities. But I mean, your sparring session with Darrett is, Darrett knows what he's about. He can handle his sort. Narratively, you are his superior. You're bigger, stronger, slightly older, and you do get the advantage over him during your sparring session. But it's only just, and you sort of have to do the sort of the sort of fake. To make it look like it was easier than it was, but he came close to taking you down just before you finally got the last thrust in, or the whatever happened. But yeah, he knows his business. And then yeah, you have a fence against Becklin, and she just puts you to the ground. Severely. I'm not even going to go through the process of rolling dice for it. You're downed. And she's quite happy to do that with Theron as well, because obviously you're martial class really on. But yeah, like I say, I keep opening it up to you. Is there anything else you wanted to do with the village? I don't want to rush you because you guys know you like a little bit of a role play. But the next thing we really need to do is Ispin's funeral. Other than that, it's up to you.
Yeah.
No, I guess the only thing I would add in is just from every time that she's knocked him down during sparring, Hal's quick to get back up again. He's taking it he's taking it almost like a champ. He'll get back up straight away. He's I'm gonna carry on with this. Not getting frustrated by it, but it's I'm gonna get back up again.
I think at the end of the day as well, I'd go I'd go to Reese and I'd give him the fisherman puppet that I bought at the market the day before, and just say, I guess I don't know. I don't know what I'd say. I'd kind of just say, here, like, I want you to have this. Just say, here, I want you to have this, and know that, wherever we are, however far away we are, like, we're still, you can still think of me as a friend.
Nice. Yeah, he's very appreciative. He does sort of, he gives you this sort of hug around the middle again, and he'll sort of say, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if these things were real? Can you imagine?"
Well, that'd be pretty weird, but I don't know. I guess I'd try and because would Micah be familiar, like, in terms of the constellation? Is Paladine's constellation a dragon, or is it something else?
The two constellations are the Platinum Dragon and the 5-headed dragon.
Yeah. Because I think that would be my reasoning for having bought the dragon was almost that little nod to Paladine, and so I'd kind of like, maybe use that as a chance to kind of like teach him about it and say, Paladine is known as the Platinum Dragon, which is why I've kind of decided to buy you the dragon figure. So, that's the first thing. Like, you can keep it in your room and think of Paladine whenever you kind of look upon it.
He's very thankful for that. He will make a religion check. Are you proficient in?
I am. Yeah.
I've always see. This is where I struggle with 5e. I hope they change this when they do the 2024, because religion is intellect ability, whereas you as a cleric have devoted a lot of your abilities to wisdom.
Wisdom,
yeah. I mean, it kind of doesn't follow that for me. That's just bugbear. If anyone from Wizards of the Coast, let's face it, they're not
bugbear.
roll religion then.
Well, it's nat 20.
Natural 20. So he will ask you more questions because he's seen you heal, and he asks you more questions about how do you heal? What's what's it all about? And you mention Mishakal to him, the goddess of healing. And he seems, you can tell, he seems more drawn to the healing arts than Paladine. But he's certainly, it's not to say he's ungrateful for the gift that you've given him, and and relating it to the. But that's the sort of direction that he's heading towards. Is more to do with the healing than, the holy warrior type thing.
Yeah, I think Micah would be pretty receptive to that too. Kind of coming from his background, where even though, like you kind of say, like the power I've got from Paladine is more kind of almost like I guess, like to defend, like the world, I guess. But obviously he's come from a background where he was working as like with physicians and nurses, more of like a kind of scientific medical approach rather than like a magical one. So I think, so I'd be open to that, and I'd kind of, also tell him about that and the medical practices in general.
Cool. I've just realised I did a thumbs up and then didn't get the flashy thing, so I'm so jealous. What the fuck? Okay. And anything else?
No. I think happy to leave it there.
Okay. So what time is it? Well, it's 24 minutes past 10 in England, Craig. So what's that your time? 9:30 in the morning?
9:30 in the morning.
Nice. All right, carry on for the next bit.
Yep.
Keep going. So it's just so jealous. So again, I'm not trying to force you into it, but you've got a few days. It's pretty much the same. There's physical exertion. I'm not going to ask you for any more rolls because you get fitter. she's putting you through your paces, and you can tell that she does this without breaking into too much of a sweat, but you can feel the aches start to recede by the last day of physical training. And then the other thing, the little changes around the village, you can see that there's garlands being put up and stalls are being put up ready for the Kingfisher Festival. It's just a delight to be in this environment. It's something that none of you have ever experienced before, and especially for this extended period. Perhaps you've been in with charlatans where they've tried to hoodwink you and believe that you're warm and safe, but this is genuine. This is the real deal. So should we fast forward to Ispin's funeral if you're happy? Yeah. So it's going to be mostly a nighttime event. It's going to be at the Brass Crab. Your image of, let me take you back to Vogler itself. So this is I've got my pointy thing. Where's my pointy thing? There it is. That's the Brass Crab there, and just on the wharf. So the funeral itself is going to take place outside. It is nighttime, and there's torches around. There's sort of flowers, and the water itself has got these petals and flowers floating on it. For saying it's it's autumn, they've done well to make it look as sort of spring-like as they have. It's very a pleasant environment. You've been to funerals before. You've been to probably quite a few funerals. And they all follow a particular pattern. It's very, very somber to start off with, and then there's a wake, and that's Becklin's already told you that's what to expect from Ispin's funeral. So let me give you this picture. This is from the campaign. Here you go, and read you the blurb. So you, those who were closest to Ispin Greenshield gather on the docks overlooking the Vingard River. There, Ispin's body rests in a small boat, his body wrapped in a shroud. A musician plays a soft song as the knight Becklin Uthverhorin steps forward in her ornate Solamic armour. She smiles gently at those assembled, and her voice carries clearly across the water. You all knew Ispin as a friend, and there were none like him. Before he died, he told me this: there should be tales, not tears, for an old scoundrel like me. Make sure everyone knows my stories when I head off for the greatest adventure of them all. Becklin nods, and the villagers carry the boat containing Ispin's body to the dock's edge, where she and Cudgel lower it into the water. So let us do just that, Becklin continues as the tiny vessel drifts out into the Vingard River. On the eve of the Kingfisher Festival, we celebrate you, Ispin. Good travels, friend, until we meet again. And she'll do the Solamic salute as he drifts away. And then everyone sort of congregates inside the Brass Crab as the somber mood is replaced by chatting, and then almost, and it's a bizarre situation. There's and so everyone that you've met in the village is there. Cudgel is the dwarf woman who was Ispin's longtime friend with Becklin. Darrett's there. Mayor Raven's there. Everyone that you've met. Bakaris, Lord Bakaris, is not there. He's the only person that's not there, but Bakaris the Younger is there. And he's in the corner with his little group of lickspittles. And you can see that they seem to be ordering far more alcohol than anyone else in the rest of the village. But as the mood goes to more sort of slightly jovial, as people start telling story. In fact, we'll do the stories first. So people start then telling stories about their time with Ispin, and as one story starts, everyone goes a little bit quiet and sort of zones into this story, and you can hear the sort of chuckles along. A lot of the stories have clearly been told several times, but people are still chuckling along. You know, Ispin did this, Ispin did this. So this is the point where that I'll throw it open to you, gentlemen. Did anyone want to invent an amusing story of their time with Ispin?
I've got one.
Go on then. Go on then.
I got one too.
So I think Hal would stand from a table and he'd raise his ale glass, and he'd say, "We all knew Sir Tristram, Ispin as a brave and valiant warrior. It reminds me of a story where where Sir Tristram and Ispin and myself were out in the wilds and had been sent on a bounty hunt for a troll, and we'd been fighting with this troll for what felt like hours. And as Sir Tristram dealt the killing blow to the troll, it released its bowels all over Ispin and his green shield."
Nice. There's loads of chuckles round, and then there's a salute to Ispin and the troll's bowels.
As I kind of toast, I'll be like, to Ispin, brown shield.
Nice. Yeah, that's appreciated. Everyone gets a chuckle from that. Go on then, Josh.
Yeah, and then I think after that, like, my tone will kind of like come down a little bit. But I'd just say, like, kind of coming from my background, you know, I learned pretty early on that you know, death, it's just a part of an ordinary life. But Ispin wasn't an ordinary man by any means. And I remember some time ago he'd actually, you know, gotten pretty badly wounded on his adventures, and by the time he came to us, he wasn't doing well. We were really worried about him. The nurses, physicians, they didn't think he'd make it through the night. But he just seemed calm. He didn't seem stressed. He didn't seem worried. He just had this calmness about him. Not like a lot of the kind of the sick and dying people that I'd seen, you know, before. And I guess, you know, somewhere in his mind, he just decided that it wasn't his time. That he wasn't going to go like that, in that way. And he was often, you know, stubborn like that. So, you know, I sat with him, and kind of, you know, the longer I sat with him, the more I felt it too, that he was going to be fine. That he wasn't going to pass away. The physicians had said that they didn't think he was going to make it through the night, but sure enough, the morning came, and Ispin was still there. And I thought to myself, you know, maybe he'll never die, but I'm sure he took great pleasure in proving me wrong one last time. So yeah, goodbye, Ispin. And I'm sure that he left because he felt he was ready to leave, and he left on his terms, and that brings me a whole lot of comfort. So I'll raise a glass to him, and then just, one glass up, and then take a swig.
Nice.
And then sit back down.
There's a whole round of here, yeah. Oh well, good, yeah. It's not the House of Lords, but it sounds similar. Yeah. I like that. Josh, nice. Anyone else got a Ispin story?
I mean, do I tell the ogre story, the orc woman story? Is this the right time for it at a funeral?
No time like the present.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make this up on the fly now. So Theron stands up and goes, and clears his throat in almost kind of like a presenting manner. He goes, "We all know that Ispin liked his women and he'll kind of like look around the room and he'll pick out, I don't know, like a barmaid or something, and he'll wink at her. And he'll say, "But I remember a time when he got me into a bit of a predicament with a woman. Well, we thought it was a woman. It was actually an orc. He was an orc man, dressed as a woman. In fact, I don't want to talk about this." And he'll kind of just sit back down again. Head down. And you can hardly see Loki just go.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah. Yeah, so the room laughs at this appreciatively. Hooray to Ispin. Come on then, Craig, don't let us down.
I guess I'm gonna stand up and gonna just say Ispin was a great companion, but and this is a sad time, but this is just the start of his next adventure. I don't have any stories that I want to share because they're just ongoing. But what I've got here is a map and a pen, a quill, ready to chart his next adventure when I meet up with him again. So to Ispin.
To Ispin. Nice one. You can all have inspiration for your work on those little bits and pieces.
Thank you.
So, did I do the what's it story to you last time? I can't remember if I did. I'll do it briefly anyway. So Becklin takes up the story now, and she will, as she stands, she'll tell you this one of Ispin's favourite stories. And Ispin was born in a place near a city called Naraka, which was in the Tamanbusuk region. Very uncivilized, uncultured. They used to eat with their spears and sleep with their sisters type place. But he'll tell a story of a raid by goblins and hobgoblins, and he tells the story of the initial raid itself when they attacked, and he held 10 of them at bay with this green shield of his. And after this, did they call him Ispin, the defender of the town? No, they never called him that. On the same raid, the wall was knocked down, and in subsequent years, he rebuilt the wall all by himself, made it stronger and firmer. And did they call him Ispin Wall Builder? No, nobody mentioned that. The same raid, the mayor's daughter was kidnapped, and he single-handedly followed the orcs and goblins into the wilderness, and he rescued her and brought her back. And did they call him Ispin, rescuer of Maiden's Virtue? No, not a mention. But you shag one sheep, and then everyone's, "Hey!" And the punchline is everyone in the whole room says the punchline at the same time, and there's a big cheer. And then at the back of the room, from the Bakaris' table, you can hear this massive, disrespectful stage yawn as you see Bakaris the Younger now stood up with one foot on a stool. "Oh, how many times do we have to listen to this same old story?" And he turns back towards his lickspittles, who are all sort of chuckling to themselves.
I think Hal would stand up from the table and he'd say, "Well, if you don't want to hear it, you're more than welcome to leave."
Nice. It's short and simple. Let's have an I'm guessing you're going for intimidation with that, mate.
Yeah.
Can I
15.
cast guidance?
Sure.
as well. I'll stand up and put like one hand on Hal's shoulder as well, like backing him.
Okay.
16.
Okay. So, excuse me. So Bakaris now looks over, and he looks over as if he's affronted by this initially. And then he sees Hal. I mean, Hal, you're a big motherfucker as well, aren't you? You say 6'7", brick shit house type thing. And and you can tell that he's not clocked you before in his his arrogance and his ignorance. He's not noticed anyone else in the room. He's the most important person in the room, and he's spun around to you to challenge you, and he's realised who you are, and he's and he turns back towards his lick spittles, and you can't hear what he says, but they do just, and they're all looking over their shoulder, and they look as if they're about to leave now.
I think Hal would stay standing. And then, because I think he's taking what Becklin said. He's not going to cause trouble, but he's not going to have his friend disrespected by a group of shits.
Okay.
So he's going to stay standing, make sure that they kind of usher themselves out if that's what they're going to do, but that they're not going to cause any more problems.
Smashing. So as they walk out, there's sort of quiet in the brass crab now as this little altercation happened, and then the murmur starts again, and people start talking. And Becklin, you try. I'm going to say, Jake, if it's all right for Hal, you don't make it obvious that you're looking for affirmation from Becklin, but you do. Over the next 5 minutes or so, you do. Conversation turns, and Becklin will just nod, and you know what she's nodding about. Yeah. Okay.
I think he would be mindful about getting into. It would have almost been a subconscious reaction for him to do that. Like he wouldn't have thought about it all the way through, and then as the encounter's kind of played out, he realised I can't cause any trouble. I've been told not to, type of thing. So that reassurance will probably put Hal at ease. He's probably sat there a bit nervous for the last 5 minutes.
Wicked. Well, yeah. It's in fact, I'll go a little bit further than that. Is as she gets up and decides to mingle, she'll put her hand on your shoulder as if she's trying to get past, but there's a little bit more of a squeeze. There's a sort of a reassuring squeeze and a pat, and as well as the nod as well. So yeah. So the only other thing that's now that Bakaris the Younger's gone, everything's nice and jovial again. There is one other character in the inn that doesn't seem to belong. There are different races there. I mean, Cudgel's a hill dwarf. There's the female Kender and Edda. Mostly humans. You perhaps spot one gnome, a male gnome, floating around. But in the corner of the room, dressed in black with a black veil, is an elf. Very straight-backed, very stiff-looking. But underneath the veil, you can see there's a blue tinge to her skin. But she's very somber, just hanging around in the background, taking it all in. Want to approach, or anyone?
She's wearing a black veil that's like covering her face.
Kind of, yeah, but it's sort of like translucent, so you can see, her expression and her colour.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to the barmaid.
Well, the barmaid's Yelmy, so she's quite happy to talk to you, call you Ducky, and nestle you into her ample bosom.
I'll ask her if she's seen anything suspicious.
Well, she'll say, well, it's funny you should say, my ducky. I don't know who that elf is in the corner. Perhaps one of you should go and talk to her, like the dungeon master scented motherfucker.
What were you doing last night?
Do we pick up anything else from her, like any arcane energies, or does Loki smell any kind of food on her, or?
Nice. You can have an Arcana check.
A big whiff of shit.
Yeah, she
21.
She got a brown stain down her back. 21. There's okay. Yeah, you. 21's pretty good. So you're getting a lot of sort of arcane juju coming from her. And you sort of tap into your well of knowledge, which is quite extensive, really. And you can't quite figure out why your arcane, your spider senses are tingling. You can spot that she's a silver nesty elf. So just to give you a very brief history of elves, you've got sort of two known type of elves. Both are kind of high elves. You've got the silver nesty elves, who are the sort of origin of the elven race. Splintered from them are the qualinesti elves. So silver nesty don't have much to do with other races, certainly now, post-cataclysm, are very haughty, standoffish. Qualinesti have got a better relationship with the rest of Ansalon, but it is still a little bit haughty. And then there's rumours of other types of elves, rumours of ancient sea elves, and rumours of sort of wilder elves or wood elves. But the fact that this high elf, stiff-necked, clearly high-born silver nesty elf is stood in this room is something that doesn't make sense. And also you can't make sense of why your spider senses are tingling.
Okay, I'm going to go all, Kender curiosity and all that kind of thing. I'm just going over because Ispin's talked about elves and a necklace like I've had from Qualinesti. And so total naivety and stuff like that, just bimbling over and saying, hello, an elf, are you from Qualinesti? Even though that's obviously going to be an affront.
Yeah. Well, you don't notice an affront, and you're expecting an affront. I'm just going to clear me throat. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But you do. I mean, we'll sort of say that you're all within an earshot of that. You don't sort of all approach in a menacing kind of way, but you do sort of sidle over, and there's this slow turn towards Edda. And in common, in this, what you describe as this well-spoken voice, quite musical, the reply will be, no, my origins are not Qualinesti. The Qualinesti cousins are known to me, but I am Silver. And then she's just straight back to neutral.
Okay.
I think Theron, seeing Edda kind of going over there at that point, would kind of walk up to her and start speaking to her in Elvish, like almost asking, sorry for my friend here. He's inquisitive. He gets very inquisitive at times. Do I know you? And he kind of says it in like a almost flirtatious way, but in Elvish.
Okay. Well, let's throw a charisma check into that then. Let's have a persuasion check for that.
Oh, God.
Give us a Riz check.
14.
Turn on the Theron chart. She'll say, excuse me. It's very unlikely that I do know. Oh, Josh. It didn't work, mate. It is very unlikely that we've met before. I am here just to observe the ritual. Tell me, where are you from? But she does, with a 14, she is going to ask you more questions about yourself, though.
Theron kind of taken back by this, so he'll kind of go, "Oh, I'm from here, there, and everywhere." But so you're interested in the ritual, are you? Okay, and he'll almost kind of like grab her by the shoulder and drag her towards the table where all the ale is, and plonk her down next to him and go, "This is how we do the ritual." And he'll like literally get all of his food and stuff out and all the drinks out and go, "Shall we begin?" And almost trying to get her involved in the drinking and the festivities, and
Okay.
that would work.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so we'll go with your original 14. She goes along with it. She's quite happy to be led. And she will say, "Oh, interesting. No, although nothing to eat or drink for me, I'm afraid. This is not how we do things. But I'm quite happy to watch and learn from these events."
And they go, "Watch and learn," then. And he's just like, you see him neck a whole bottle of wine and makes a tit of himself.
Okay. What I'm going to ask for is a group insight check then. Oh, well, it'll be individual insight checks. So 16. Nice.
It's gone to my head.
Yeah, a little bit. You're distracted. Just no. We'll give it to Edda then. So definitely Micah and definitely Micah. So Edda, you would notice that this woman is taking in everything that's happening. But Micah, you know that she's looking around. But it's almost as if you get the sense that she's evaluating. And occasionally, as her eyes linger on perhaps a villager that you've met who's in good spirits but may have had a little bit too much to drink, and she just passes straight over them. And then she'll look towards perhaps Hal, who's probably on best behaviour, and Becklin, and she'll sort of nod a little bit, and then Darrett similarly. And then her eyes lock to you. And you can tell that she knows what you're doing, and she sort of looks down to the ground as if you've sort of caught her trying to evaluate people. But then she looks up and then just nods at you. She's basically watching Theron get drunk and and smashing food into his face.
And feeding Loki at the same time.
I think I'd ask her then. I think I'd just say, so what brings you here? Did you know Ispin?
Yes, I did know Ispin. We were friends. I performed for him on several occasions.
She said performed.
Say, how so? Like, do you play an instrument?
Yeah. No, she said I'm a singer. Singer.
You're a singer. Well, would you care to sing a song for it? Like, and this is like, like genuine. Like, I'm like kind of like haven't seen her like scope in the room. I'm a little bit like trying to verify what she's saying, but at the same time, I'd also be kind of curious. Like, would you sing a song for us? For the room, even.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. Oh, 4.
She'll say, perhaps this is not the time for most Sylvanesti songs are of a. This is not the environment for my type of songs. I mean no disrespect by that, but you have a very different way of celebrating or mourning to my kind. So forgive me, but I will decline that gracious offer.
Yeah, I'll just say no. I understand. That's okay.
See, to this. Oh, go on, mate. Go on.
No. It's okay.
Okay. So she'll sort of say, if you'll excuse me, good sir, and she'll stand as if she's going to walk out to powder her nose, shall we say?
Was that all about?
Yeah.
I'm a curiosity kills the cat. I'm gonna follow.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna like pat Edda on the back as he goes. I'm just gonna give Edda a pat on the back, and I'll be like, yeah, go, keep an eye on it, and then kind of like turn back towards the festivities.
Okay.
I think Hal would walk up to. Hal would walk up to Micah, and he'd be like, "What was that all about?"
I'm not sure, to be honest, but I've got a bit of a weird feeling about that one. She seemed to be looking around the room. She focused particularly on you and Becklin. But she saw me looking, and she kind of seemed suspicious, to say the least. I'm not sure what her intentions are.
And where's Edda gone? Where's Edda gone?
Edda's following.
Right. That worries me.
He's made it this far.
I think how would position himself, like, I guess, like the latrines and things that, like, are they in I take it they're in the tavern, aren't they?
Outside of this particular tavern. It's an there's a series of outhouses.
I'll go and get some fresh air just to make sure I can't hear any disturbance.
I'll sure. If Hal's going out, I'll go with him.
Okay, let's have a perception check from the three of you then.
Ruby.
I might use that inspiration.
19.
Hell yeah. 21.
Oh. $14.
Okay, so you that was a normal roll. So you're keeping your inspiration, Craig? Yeah. So as she exits the building and does head towards the outhouse, and the outhouses do have a moon symbol on. Of course they do. I've never understood why they do that, but they do. She walks past the outhouse, and as Edda, you don't spot her pass it, and as you your Kender curiosity gets the better of you as you actually open the door, thinking that she's inside. Hal goes round one way, Micah goes round the other. This woman's just disappeared.
Rat bastard.
Strange.
She's just gone.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking for. Am I aware that she's just vanished, even though I went to the wrong place?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna like knock on the wall and like, wow, that's a neat trick. Trying to find trapdoors and things like
that. Okay.
I'm looking at the ground to see if I can see like footprints.
I'm gonna go on your 21 perception, which is, I mean, it's significantly better than average, and you don't see any footprints leading up to here. Never mind where they could have gone.
Yeah, it's been had.
Strange.
I'm looking around. I've got. I think that. I don't know. I just think she's watching us from somewhere. No idea where she's vanished. She's disappeared. Whatever. But I guess you just get this feeling that she's not far. But I've got no. Yeah.
Well, no. I think you're right. She can't have gone that far.
I think she's probably having a right chuckle.
Well, the elves possess a magical nature. We don't know where she may have disappeared to, but I suggest we don't linger outside. We're safe. Let's go back
Should
and
we
enjoy the revelries.
mention it to Becklin?
I will speak with Becklin about it. I will go and make her
Can
aware.
Theron stumble outside at this point and go, "What are you fuckers doing out here? There's drink and ale in there. What's going on?"
Just coming to see what your lady friend's up to.
Oh, the magical chick. You lost her already.
Yeah, a little too quick for us not to be worried about it, to be honest.
Oh. Do you want to detect magic?
Yeah, if you give it a shot, that might be good.
Okay. So I'm assuming that this is going to be a first level spell slot to instantly cast it, and not the 10-minute ritual.
Yeah. He's just going to go, he's half sloshed anyway.
Okay. So you do you do get a sense of magic that has happened, and it's this is the footprints that you're missing. So you can follow where and Theron will point out what she went this way, and you can confirm and then she went round here, and then you get a sense of sort of like almost conjuration magic from the point directly behind the outhouse, as if she's vanished from that spot, and it seems to have been potentially something of a conjuration in nature, which you would know would possibly coincide with teleporting or something of that nature. But yeah, she's gone. She's gone.
Well, I guess we'd there's not much else we can do then. We'd better go back inside.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll go and
You've
speak
missed
with
your chance
Becklin and
with her,
make her aware.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. I'll be the last one away from the spot, and I'll just kind of look around and speak to the environment. Say, "Nice one. Catch you later."
Okay. There's no response, but yeah. Nice.
And then
Okay. So I'm about ready to call it quits for the session, gentlemen. I'm getting tired myself.
No,
What I don't want to do, I always end up doing, is I want to sort of get to a particular point. So we're starting from next time. So we'll finish up with your conversation with Becklin about this woman. Becklin will tell you that she had spoken to the elf. The elf had identified herself as Lidara from Sylvanost, the Sylvanesti elf. And that she was here to honour Ispin's passing. Becklin, to her knowledge, has never heard of Lidara, and she can't remember Ispin mentioning the name Lidara or any dealings with an Sylvanesti elven woman, which is curious. But she's sort of shrugging it off, the fact that she's disappeared. She didn't do anyone any harm, and she was quite respectful. So it's just one of those bizarre occurrences as far as Becklin's concerned. But as the night draws to a close, Becklin will say to you that it's the Kingfisher Festival tomorrow, and it is the recreation of the battle on High Hill. But she expects all of you to no. She expects Hal to appear first thing in the morning, as usual, and she asks if the rest of you would attend as well. You can join in with the physical training if you wish. Hal obviously doesn't have a choice, but she would like to meet with you on the morning of the Kingfisher Festival just to discuss something with you. And then she will just briefly say that tomorrow on the Kingfisher Festival, most of the day, it's just fun and revelry in the village. There will be a fishing competition, which is a bit of fun. Everyone takes part. And then as it gets closer to lunchtime, just after lunch, it's going to be this recreation of the Battle of High Hill. And she'll say, hopefully you'll join in with the festivities, but there will be more on that tomorrow. It is getting late now, gentlemen. So this is Becklin saying it and the Dungeon Master saying it. So we'll call it there and start next session with going to talk to Becklin. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds great.
Cool. Yeah.
Tidy. So, and just to confirm, we've got hobbits dancing now. The next session is in 2 weeks' time, I believe.
Yeah, it's a Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we've got 3 in a row. Yeah.
Come on.
Wicked.
Come on.
This is the 4th.
So the 4th of May, yeah?
Yeah, 4th, 11th, and 18th I've got in mind, if we can all still do that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
Yeah. Definitely the 4th and definitely the 11th.
Tidy. Yeah. So yes, if you have watched and enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And if you Josh and Jake's dad, thanks very much.
I've got my dad to give him a shout out.
Yeah.